Sometime around late 2021, I started watching Supernatural, and after a few episodes I was hooked on the show and spent about a year and a half watching all 15 seasons, plus the Winchesters. I knew right away that I wanted to do two things. The first was to build the Impala kit with an open trunk and tools for the hunt. The second was to build an EMF meter. I actually started on the car first, but that meter kept calling me, so I eventually switched focus and started to see what I could build. Now, if you're a fan of this show, you know there are a lot of these meters throughout the series. Even the main one that Sam and Dean use has gone through iterations, even from one episode to another. I made my initial selection based on Sam's 5-capacitor meter from Season 4, Episode 13. I wanted a real EMF meter, and if at all possible, to use fully discrete parts for the whole thing. I also wanted to make this meter as flexible as possible to hopefully support different part sizes, 4 or 5 capacitors, and battery options. I started to do some searches and funny enough found an archive of an old Popular Electronics issue, December 1999, with a write-up of an EMF meter which detected electric and magnetic fields. This was perfect. I grew up with these magazines, Popular Electronics, Radio Electronics, and Electronics Now. Not only that, this issue was in the right time frame for Sam and Dean to be using it for their own meter builds. I started to breadboard the design and test functionality to see how I could make this fit with the TV prop design. Everything seemed to be working well, and I scaled down the design to 5 LEDs, converted one of the op amps to be a summing amp, and then started to look at the audio. I tried a number of different circuits to see if I can get the unique sound of the EMF meter from the show, but it was not going to happen. Time to pivot. I already had the Audacity files from my earlier research, so I got a DF player and started trying out a few things. After some trial and error, I got some sound files I was really happy with. And here's an updated schematic. My initial thought was to do a hand-build perf board unit just like Sam and Dean would have done, so I started gathering materials. I picked up a meter from Ali and figured I could cut out part of it to use as the meter base. That was a disaster. A 3D printer I ordered had just arrived, so I decided to see if I could print up a new base, and that worked out great. Now that it is time to start the assembly, I'm less excited about the prospect of doing this assembly on a perf board, so I started to do a PCB layout to see how it would all fit in the constraints of the TV prop design. Well, before long, I'm fully invested in doing this PCB build. I really wanted this board to be a Rev A success, so I spent lots of time on the layout and part review, even going to the point of a mock-up assembly for the PCB. Here are a few of the completed meters, and I'm happy to say I think this turned out to be a great replica of the Supernatural prop. However, there was one meter in the show that really stuck with me, and it was only shown once. Olivia's EMF meter from Season 4, Episode 2 was insane, so I perfboard built that one with all the crystals, ICs, and what seems to be some relays. This meter is a prop-only version with a manual test button and 3 pre-programmed sequences. These sequences can be added and changed by reprogramming the ATtiny part. There's a video that goes into more detail here. If you also want to go ghost hunting, assembled meters are for sale along with some spare PC boards and parts. Check out the links in the description below. There is also a detailed 2-part build video available for the 5 LED meter if you are looking to build one yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you to those that have subscribed. Please take a look at my other projects, and if you are not yet a subscriber, please consider hitting that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.